Overwatch Championship Series. The major bracket, major finals happened for stage 2. What's to say about this? There is a lot going on, a lot of narratives, a lot of storylines, and a lot. Venture has not hit the tournament stage yet, but we saw an update in the meta, a lot of Orisa play. We saw some Monkey, a lot more Monkey over in EU, and which is exactly where we're going to start, actually. So let's bring us over there to run down the teams we saw in the bracket. So first and foremost, congratulations to Space Station Gaming. They ended up pulling out first place, winning a cool 30K, qualified to the Dallas Major, DreamHack, as well as stage 3 for the groups and the qualifiers there. They actually beat out ENTS. ENTS took second place, 15K as their prize, and also qualifying for stage 3. Both teams will be going to DreamHack, but this was quite the story overall. Nick, did you get a chance to take a look at the finals of EU in a bit, or were you focused more on NA? Because we normally just do NA stuff.
I was only, like, for these ones I told you last week, I was literally only going to watch M80 win the whole thing. The only thing that's exactly what I said. I was only going to watch M80 games, and I was going to watch them win.
Well,
and what's that?
We'll get to that whole narrative in a second, but all right. So overall, the situation was pretty straightforward. Here, Space Station Gaming has been dominating the group stages, the Swiss stages, and then dominating the bracket. 3-0 against Team Peps, which is a pretty notable team. 3-0 against Peace and Love, and then 3-1 ENTS. And this is where the anchor is here. ENTS is a team that's very well known in the community. Let me try to I'll bring it up here. Very well known because they're all former Overwatch League pros. They did pretty well last stage, but got bumped out by Ex Oblivione, I believe. But so did Space Station Gaming. For ENTS, we have Kai, Kevster, Chase, Vestola, Ghost, Masa, and Crimzo. So their starting 5 are all Overwatch League veterans of at least a couple years. Kevster is talked about as being the best tracer in the world, potentially, definitely the best tracer in EU, possibly even North America. It's where, going to the Asian region where it gets a little competitive, but there's still a really good argument. And Crimzo, Kai, Vestola, Masa all have their own notoriety. First and foremost, this is a formidable team, and just setting the stage here, this was a team that really could bring the pain, really could push hard, really get aggressive, really press weaknesses on this. Space Station Gaming isn't any slouches. They're used to these competitions. They're also a bunch of Overwatch League pros, predominantly from the London Spitfire. With a few additions here, Funny Astro and Psycho. But they've been going and hitting their stride right now. Some would say peaking pretty hard. But just as the background here, this was the situation. These teams are powerhouse juggernauts. They were able to dominate the other teams and then had a pretty decent match. ENTS did take one game off of them here. And that set them up for a lower bracket run. Meeting them back in the finals. In the finals, you can see we have a banger here. 4-3 final score. Space Station over ENTS. ENTS came out strong in a 2 or 3-0. 3-1, I believe. And then Space Station came back and won it all. And that's where I want to kind of show us a little bit of this anchor point, a little bit of this turning point on this one play, because it is gnarly. But in the interim, while I'm switching over, Nick, let me know your thoughts here. The stage is set here. We have this competition, these two juggernaut teams in EMEA currently, and this is the narrative that was happening and going through the lower bracket, coming back up for their vengeance run, but not quite hitting it. What are your thoughts here? What are you looking at? What are you looking for?
So I'm looking to see Tracer just leave. I really don't find Tracer gameplay fun. And I really don't like seeing it in all these games, for the most part. It's I don't know. It's frustrating. I don't think. I'm a person who's like I don't really care for her playstyle or her kit, and I don't know. I don't think she's like really great for the game, but you know, I'm not really an Overwatch player, but I know it's not great for me to watch it. In my like, it's
Yeah, you've expressed that a little bit before. Tracer has been in the meta as a powerful character, probably as one of the most. Diva and Mercy rivaling that. She's been one of the least nerfed characters, least changed or patch characters through Overwatch's history into Overwatch 2. They have a high skill ceiling, so that's a lot of what you see. And her ability and just her kit enables high-level players to put the pressure on. This was an interesting meta for that because we would see people rely on the Tracer and then kind of come out of it and like lean on a Sojourn, lean on a... We saw Symmetra in this one. We saw a Mei in this one, which was pretty nice as an overall macro of the back and forth, the counter picks. But I'm going to hit you with this play currently. I'm going to set the stage, and then I'm going to hit you with this play. All right, so bear with me.
all right.
All right, so here we are. We're in game... Sorry, can you hear me?
No, yeah. I was saying, are we at whose point of view is this?
This is a Tracer. This is a Kevster. Arguably the best Tracer in the world. But let me set the stage real quick.
All right.
All right. So here we are. We're in game 6. And we're on match point. Ent has 3. It's first to 4, best of 7 overall. Space Station is down. Currently, Space Station has the point, almost at cap. It's almost at overtime. But it seems to be a little bit of an even fight here. Basically, Ent is going to pull the win here. We're in the Kevster point of view on the Tracer. So now they're resetting. They flip the point. Ent has the point. They're going to set up. We're going to see a... basically, they come in. They've got time. It's 63% currently. They've got time for 2 fights if they push it, right? So they're going to come in. They're going to poke and peek, a little scouting, see what's going on. They're going to set up for this first fight. So the team's going to go through this mid choke here, and while the Cassidy is going to flank around the left side, he's going to take a 1v1 duel right here. So let me pause that real quick. So this was a big breakout performance by Sparker. Oh, I went back too far. It was a big breakout performance. Let me get it back up to speed. There we go. By Sparker, he's really stepped up in the hit scan role. He's really like leaned into the team, and they're really functioning well. He takes his 1v1 deep flank, beats Kai as arguably one of the best hit scans in the world on a Cassidy. It was a mirror match. Wins that. Here he is in the back line. They turn around for him. He ends up taking out 3 total, and they lose this fight. So now all they have left, they've got the Tracer, and they've got the Ramatra here, right? On point. It's 95%. Space Station is down. If they lose this game, they lose the match. And this is the grand finals. This is the difference between first and second place, right? The closest people are behind here in this open room. They need to cover all of this distance, which has no cover. And it's not that to say that they have a big advantage. They've definitely got a map advantage, but they don't have... And they have a slight number advantage. A Tracer and a Ramatra coming here. So what I want you to look at, we're going to run the play, and then we're going to watch it back real quick, all right? We're going to see Funny Astro and Lucio coming for the touch. He's got 3 seconds. He gets the touch. He gets cleansed. He beats the stay on to get the second touch and give time for the rest of the team to come in. And then now they dance on the point. That was it. Now Psycho comes in against the best Tracer in the world, comes in, and then rolls the team. The micro moments here in this play are insane. And I wish I bring us more into the fight a little bit specifically, but I'm going to run it back again, all right? So there's a lot that happens here. Nick, what are you seeing? What are you thinking?
Someone just fell off the map. That's what it felt like. They just went off the map if you rewind it. But they just got pushed back. It doesn't look like they were positioning well. Like overall, they weren't ready for a push, is what it looked like. And then they got surprised by the push. And then they just ran off the point. Like it's really what it looks like.
So that was a previous situation. Basically, it was a replay showing that the tank cut his losses on the previous fight, jumped off the point, not giving them ult charge, basically.
Got it.
Here, and then from here out is the play. So here's Sparker.
Right.
Here's Sparker on the back. They flip the point. He takes out. He gets taken out. He takes out the Lucio. He gets taken out. It's a 3K. Now we're here. So again, I want to try to run this slow-mo. Playback speed. Let's go quarter speed.
Play it, right? Like there's two people near the point, right? Out of a 5-person team. And I don't know where the other players are.
All right,
Normally I'd be able to see exactly where the players are because they would be somewhere near the point in general, right? Like.
All right, here we go. So I turned on the telestration to kind of demonstrate here. Let me get an appropriate color that we can see. Let's do white. Easy peasy. Does that not work? Okay. We'll do it that way. All right. Correct the brush. All right. So here's the situation. Sparker's dead. 4 people. These are the 4 people that can possibly touch. There's 96%. Percent runs 1% per second. So they have 4 seconds to touch the point to get into overtime. Really, at 97, at 3 seconds before the the game ends, the round ends, that's when you need to get the touch on. So 97, between 97 and 100. They're at 96. The closest person to this is the Lucio.
Coming from all the way. Lucio's going to be back though. Like even a bad player knows that the Lucio is going to be the first person to try to contest the point because of how fast he is.
And like this situation too, it kind of depends on when the Lucio died. The Lucio died kind of first, so they were able to like amp out of spawn, use their speed, use a rollout. Funny Astro hits this rollout really well, but what he's going to do is he's going to hit this rollout. He's got to traverse this open area and then get to here because this is the quickest point. He's got 4 seconds to do that. You've got the Tracer marking him, and he's going to start putting the pressure on, and then the Ramatra also basically going to do the same. He's going to come from the point here, and he's going to move on into business up there. There we go. That made it worse. There we go. All right. So he's going to come from over there, and he's going to try to also stuff him. And Ramatra has that ground vortex that's going to like stop his wall riding. So this is a very not ideal situation, but it's still doable as we see. So let me take this off. Let me run. So here's slow motion. He's coming to the gun. Tracer's marking him. Tracer backs up a little bit, just trying to pepper and defend the point. Vortex goes down, didn't put Vortex down until now. But I think the big thing that we miss here is that Astro gets hit. I'm going to play this again at full speed. Astro gets hit with a very, very, very well-timed Suzu from the Kiriko. And that allows him to stay there. So here's the previous play. Let me just get us back up to speed because it's a right. They push in, they're going to lose this fight. Here's Kai taking the 1v1, a little bit surprised by Sparker. Sparker winning out, taking out 1, now 2, and then he's going to get Masa for the 3rd. There's Masa, and now he goes down. So now we go back and reset to where we were. Tracer, Ramatra. Lucio's going to come in. Let me slow this down again.
See, so that's where they were.
Yeah. So they're all coming in from this part. We're watching the POV of the Lucio now, of Funny Astro. Funny Astro amps. He's got the speed boost. He's going in. He's going to try to hit the point. Right here, he's not close. Vestola goes Nemesis form, which might have messed it up for them. If he put down Vortex, he might have been able to save it, but I don't know if he had Vortex on cooldown or not. Kevster wasn't able to pepper him, but like he's at 174 HP, not full. He gets down to about half. And now you see on the side of the screen, you see the white screen effect here. That's a Suzu. That's Kiriko. Kiriko Suzu him, so and then you can see him on the back right. He's coming in a lot slower. Able to Suzu him. able to then heal him back up to about 75%. Kevster, the Tracer, as well as Vestola, the Ramatra, keep putting the pressure on him. They drop a Vortex on him finally. They put more damage in. He gets his ultimate, beats immediately. In fact, the Vortex helps him pulls him to the ground quicker. He goes from 50% health back up to like infinite health because of the beat. They touch the point. Space Station's Tracer, Psycho, comes in on the left here. So now Vestola and Kevster need to retreat because now it's a threat. It's a 3v2. And from here, that micro play of the Suzu and the rollout changed the game and it allowed them to win. I can't emphasize enough how crazy this is, the micro on that.
It's also because, Ents messed up the previous fight. Even though they survived and won that previous fight, I guess you can consider them winning because everybody they gained the point. Because of that, everybody else was nowhere to be found, and they were able to just get there. So they staggered the backs. They probably should have just backed off, honestly, instead of really just trying to play the full point and trying to guard the point. They should have just backed off and just fought contesting it instead of really trying to hold the point in the previous fight.
Right. It's a tricky situation. They backed off, but it's a 99-99 situation, so they kind of can't. You have to be there to touch. You have to hold your... Yeah. What really messed it up was that Sparker was able to get that 3K and really put put those guys in the spawn room, and that created enough of an advantage where Funny Astro went into a 1v2 and was able to touch. And then the Kiriko helped him stay alive, so it stayed a 1v2 and became a 2v2. Then Psycho showed up as the third fastest character in this rollout with the Tracer, and it became a 3v2. That's when it was that advantage quickly turned into a disadvantage. That's when it needed to back up, but that's also when Vestola just got murdered because they all focused the tank and he had no help. He had no healing help when it was a DPS versus DPS and two healers. So super crazy moment, quick flip on a dime. These are some of the best in the world, and this was one of the best plays I've seen in a while. Just so quick and probably a no-brainer thing, but just for them to execute all the little minutia and have it go the way they needed to, because it could have easily gone the wrong way. Could have easily just...
Not what I'm about to say doesn't discount how good Sparker is and how well he did. It looked like they just disrespected him. They were just yeah, he's not, and then
Sparker took the 3K in the fight before this. Are you speaking about somebody else, or?
No, I'm saying overall in the match, since he's relatively new, they probably just underestimated him, and then it just ended up
right
winning in
that mental
moment. That's all.
This is a team that scrims each other. These are teams that scrim each other all the time and competitive. And this was the team that knows each other well. Space Station and Sparker have been rolling pretty hard. So I don't know how much they're discounting, but they discounted him going on a flank like that. He took that 1v1, won, and then kept rolling. And that was it. It could have easily been a 4-2 in Ence's favor and a $30,000 prize pool rather than the 15. But that turned the tables and ended up in a 4-3 with Space Station Gaming taking the win on that one. So big congrats to those boys. Huge play. Love to see it. Love to break it down. But we got a lot more to get into, so I'm going to switch over really quickly unless you have a last point to make.
Yeah.
All right, cool.